Welcome, good morning to Wimbledon Coffee Morning, brought to you by Lavazza. It's day 9 of the championships, it's men's quarterfinals day, and I'm Anne-Marie Batson.
I'm Danny Jameson. We've got a long way to go though to beat the drama of yesterday. Oh, I'm excited now. That has really got me pumped and hyped for today.
Absolutely, and it was a big day yesterday, but It's also going to be a big day today. But before we talk about that, I know that Sue from Melbourne is saying it's definitely going to be a big day. There's been some talk on social media as well.
Yeah, loads of people getting involved in the old Facebook group, Join the Story. Kimberly says from yesterday, what a great match. Kudos to Alison and Serena, well played. That is Saturday trophy holding tennis from Serena. That, of course, was the first match up yesterday. Serena Williams beating Alison Riske.
I'm still thinking that Serena Williams will make it to the ladies singles final and possibly lift the title in the mixed doubles as well. But I don't want to get ahead of myself because, you know, one step at a time, as they say. What has Ali Fellows been saying on Facebook?
Yeah, so she's spent 9 hours in front of the TV watching some tennis, which is a great dedication. And guess what? She's got tickets for Court 1 on Saturday as well. Super excited.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
That's awesome. I'm very, very jealous.
I'm very, very jealous too, absolutely. And then Camille as well on Twitter, what's she been saying?
Oh, well, this is great. So she was in the queue, right? So she sends us this photograph of her and all of her friends with their masks of Rafa Nadal and Roger Federer and all that sort of stuff. However, most excited about, this is brilliant, is the voice perhaps of Wimbledon, of Kader Nouni.
Oh, he's like the Barry White of tennis. You can hear his voice reverberate around the grounds when he's on court.
Yeah, so he's one of the umpires, and honestly, the voice, it's like being inside your own movie trailer. It's amazing. But yeah, if you've never heard him, or you maybe think you've never heard him, you probably have. Search him out. It's awesome. I want him as my ringtone. I'm going to track him down. I've got 4 days left. I'll find him and track him down.
I'd love him to leave me a voicemail message as well. Record a voicemail message.
Narrate my life. Do you reckon
Yes.
he'll give up umpiring to narrate my life? You never know. Anyway.
A cracking day in store for us today, and a fantastic day yesterday, as you say.
Oh yeah, and look, if you want to get in touch on the old social medias,
yeah, please.
Plenty of ways to do it.
Absolutely, we want you to be part of the conversation, so don't forget to use the hashtag Wimbledon. Don't forget to use the hashtag Join the Story. Also, the Facebook group of Wimbledon Join the Story. It's just growing every day, and you've only got a few days left, by the way. So make sure you send your stories in. And we also have a poll for you today, and the big question is: which match are people most looking forward to?
Yeah, which of the 4 men's quarterfinals are you most excited about? Obviously, 4 options. You've got Novak Djokovic against David Goffin. That's probably my choice. You've got Kei Nishikori up against Roger Federer. Guido Pella against Roberto Bautista Agut. And Sam Querrey, the only unseeded player left, it's Rafael Nadal. Get voting on your social media platform of choice, and we'll get the results for you later in the show.
Now, Danny and I are extremely excited because we've got a really special guest about to join us.
Oh, a very special guest indeed. He is no less a Wimbledon champion.
a fairy tale, but in fact is often more wonderful than fiction.
Jonny Marray's in the house. He's come to join us. Thanks for joining us on Coffee Morning. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good stuff.
Now, you were, as we were saying, the men's doubles champion at Wimbledon back in 2012. Take us through those couple of weeks, because you played with Freddie Nielsen, who you knew hadn't played too much with, given a wild card as well into the tournament.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'd kind of known Freddie for years on the tour, the kind of lower tour, the challenges and the futures, and we're good friends, both Liverpool fans, so we got on pretty well. So leading up into Wimbledon that year, I was playing with a regular partner, but that he kind of decided to play with somebody else, so I was kind of left in a lurch a little bit. But so I kind of asked Freddie to play one of the warm-up weeks, and we did really well in one of those tournaments, and then kind of we got wildcard together, and obviously had a good couple of weeks at Wimbledon.
Good couple of weeks.
Good couple of weeks.
Couldn't have gone much better.
I know, that's the understatement of the century, I think. Good couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, what were your expectations leading into the championships at that time? Were you just that, you want to enjoy it, or did you think, actually, we've got a good chance here?
I think first and foremost, is just to kind of go out there and try and enjoy it, and to try and play the best you can play, I suppose. And I'd had a good kind of start to the year, and I was feeling good of where my game was and where my head was, which is probably the most important thing. So yeah, the expectation was every match as it comes, I suppose. We were wild cards, I suppose, so we didn't really deserve to be there on ranking or anything like that. So yeah, I think that was a reason why we did so well. We just taken every match as it came, and just playing those games. Yeah.
Was there a point that you thought, hey, we've got half a chance here?
Probably match point in the final thing. Yeah, I'd say that's probably the first time. No, I mean, I think for me, I'd lost in the third round a couple of times, and getting over that hurdle to get to quarterfinals is a big one. But every match we played with the underdogs, I suppose. So, and especially the semi-finals, we were playing the Bryan brothers, which are the kind of best double teams that there's ever been, I suppose. So when we actually got through that match, that's obviously, we get the chance to play in centre court in a Wimbledon final. It's what I kind of played tennis for, and what I dreamed about. So, but again, there we were playing the guys who had lost in the final the last 2 years. So they again were favourites. So I suppose, really up until the last ball was hit, I think. Yeah.
And then when did it actually sink in that you were a Wimbledon champion?
I don't know.
Has it
really.
ever?
It took a while. Yeah. I mean, I still pinch myself, obviously, because it's not something I always dreamed of, but never something I thought was that possible. So yeah, I think the next day when the trophy's there and you kind of going back to Sheffield, it takes time for it to kind of sink in or whatever. But yeah, I still pinch myself now, really.
I'm curious about the day of the finals. It was the Saturday before. Andy Murray is in the final of Wimbledon for the very first time. So everybody is obviously very excited about maybe snapping the losing streak of no British winner here. How did that affect your preparations? Could you take us through that Saturday?
The Saturday of the final, I mean, it didn't really affect. We were trying to do our thing, so you kind of focus. You got enough to focus on. But obviously following Andy and how well he was doing and everything. But yeah, we just kind of practiced as normal. Serena, I think, was playing Halep in a ladies singles final, so kind of did all our warm up. We actually went on centre court in the morning just to get a little feel of the place, because I hadn't really been on there at all, even as a spectator. So just to kind of try and get used to that environment, and then we just kind of waited in the changing rooms for them to finish. I remember it was quite a long match. I think it was going quite quick than we thought we'd be on, so we were kind of getting ramped up and everything. And then I think it went to 3 sets. So then you have to come down a little bit and compose yourself. So it's a bit nerve-wracking waiting to go on, but I suppose once you got out there, it was hit a few balls. You kind of get into it a little bit.
I have to say, by the way, Robert has got in touch on Facebook. Hi, Robert. He says that you are a great champion, so we have to share that.
Oh, well, that's very kind. That's very kind. Thanks, Robert.
So
Robert,
when you are lifting the trophy, like, could you quite believe it had happened? You look quite dazed, sort of, in the footage you've just seen. Like, you can't believe what's just happened.
Yeah, I mean, it all kind of. I suppose once we'd won, that was a bit of a shock and everything, and then, I don't know, we have to go up and through the members area and onto things. So it was all a bit. I didn't know what to say in the interview. I think afterwards, but it was a great feeling. My family were there, and they've obviously been so supportive over my kind of whole career and everything. So that was great for the whole family and everything. I had quite a few friends in in the stadium as well. So yeah, I mean, it was a surreal kind of scene or whatever, but it was obviously great fun for me.
Now you're playing part of the invitational doubles this week with Jamie Delgado, who is of course Mr. Murray's coach.
Indeed.
How's it going, Jonny?
It's going. It could be going a little bit better, to be honest. I mean, we've only played one match, so we've got a couple more to kind of redeem ourselves a little bit. But no, I mean, it's just great to be involved and great to be playing again here. And yeah, I think the only way's up. I think on that one.
You're obviously playing with Jamie, who is still coaching Andy. What's that been like, that relationship? You got any inside scoop, any inside goss on Andy?
Oh, I don't know. No, inside goss, no chance, no chance. I'd be shot if I told you that, I think. But no, I haven't got any. Jamie, keeps his cards close to his chest and everything. But no, they've been great friends over the years, really. And even when Jamie obviously wasn't working with Andy, and Jamie's a very experienced kind of player and coach, and kind of been there before and everything, and they get on really well. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's a good match. Obviously, he's had quite a lot of success when Jamie's been his coach and everything. So yeah, hopefully he can get back fit again, and we can see him on a singles court again.
You're in action though later on.
Yep.
You've got Thomas Enquist and Thomas Johansson.
Yes.
Looking forward to it.
This reason, of course I am. Yeah, But we need to pick up our games a little bit. But they're difficult. We played them last year as well. They both returned really well, and but it'll be good fun anyway.
I love the fact that your competitive streak is still there.
Yeah, still there, deep inside somewhere.
Hey, listen, best of luck. Hopefully we get another Wimbledon championship on your mantelpiece.
Well, that would be nice. I think it's a big push.
Why not?
Why not, exactly.
Lovely to see you, Jonny. Thanks for coming to see us this morning on Coffee Morning. Of course, there was so much that happened yesterday. You might have missed one or two things, including an umpire who suddenly found himself part of a Legends match.
That's the life. Whoop. Nothing to see here. Carry on. This could go on for a while.
So is the tennis going to get better after this?
Oh, that ball boy has had a bad 2 or 3 games. He slipped earlier, got up, dusted himself down, and then he had to deal with this.
Well, it's not only her thigh that's getting whacked, her head is as well.
There we are, and Greg just hit his wife with a tennis ball. So.
Looks like it's a sandwich gone into a toasty, doesn't it, under the warmth of the sun?
It's very tasty, whatever it is. Don't push too hard or else it will go horribly wrong. I speak from experience. Well
Always
done.
when you've got your best gear on as well, isn't it? Well, suddenly, help is at hand. Don't know who enjoyed it most.
You never know what's going to happen in these invitationals, do you?
Not
It's
at all.
absolute chaos. Listen, we've got the poll running still. What is your favourite quarter-final are you looking forward to the most today? Obviously, 4 options, the 4 matches that are going on centre and number 1. Get voting. We'll have the results for you later on. Now, yesterday, the ladies were whittled down to the final 4.
They were.
Exciting day of tennis. Perhaps not so much for Zhang Shui, though. She lost to Simona Halep, but really classy move, I thought, this, on her Twitter, tweeting her congratulations, saying you deserve the win and good luck with the rest of Wimbledon. That's nice to see. A lot of respect between competitors.
Yeah, exactly. I was expecting so much from the match, and it did definitely deliver, particularly in that first set as well, but I thought that was very classy from Zhang Shui.
Yeah, fair play to her. Also through
Barbora Strycova,
yes.
33 years of age, absolutely delighted to reach a semi-final here at Wimbledon on Instagram.
Yeah, and she's saying this might be her last Wimbledon, might be her last year in the sport, and I think you can see from her reaction there as well just how much it means to her. So very best of luck to her in the semi-finals.
Great photo.
Yeah, it was. And, well, yesterday, we sort of mentioned it before, but Serena Williams was on absolute fire, not just in the singles when she was sort of down in the second set, I think it was, and tied her hair up in a bun, and she calls it the business bun, doesn't she?
That's right, yes.
And suddenly it all changed and she went hell for leather for the rest of the day, kept her hair up for the mixed doubles with Andy Murray as well, and was just extraordinary. She was so good. And there was a cracking screen grab that Denise managed to spot on Twitter that she tweeted out when you realised that you were that good. Yeah, I mean, she was awesome, wasn't she?
Yeah, absolutely. And if you haven't seen it yet, there is a great video of Serena returning a serve at 138 miles per hour, which she surprised herself as well. It's a fantastic video for the mixed doubles.
That's something like 7 miles an hour faster than the fastest ever recorded serve in women's tennis, and she still managed to return it, and I think she hit a winner off it as well.
Yes,
it was extraordinary to see. We almost all missed some Wimbledon history because we talked about it the other day actually. This year, if it gets to 12 all in the final set, goes straight to a tiebreak. No more Isna Mahoob style 4-day marathons. And we had the very first one, John Peers, in the doubles. He was part of it with Continent against Ram Salisbury. Ended up winning the tiebreak and tweeting out his delight being part of a little slice of Wimbledon history.
Amazing stuff. And it was also on Nick McCarville's favourite court 12, which I'm sure delighted Nick.
It's come to play this week. And so we spotted this, love this from Polly Barnes. So when she was 18, she was paid to clean the toilets on centre court, the posh loos, where all the very fancy people go. And yesterday, she was back to watch the tennis herself. And you know what? She's going to use them while she's here.
Great story. I
Good
love
for
that.
her. I really like that. And yeah, come back all those years later in the posh seats, enjoy the tennis. It was an absolute cracker.
Now, I have a question for you. Do you think today, quarterfinals day, is going to top yesterday's action?
I think it will. And you know what? If you don't know what's going on today, well, here are 5 things you desperately need to know about day 9.
Adam Hunt has joined us from the Wimbledon channel. A bit of a swap round today because normally you come on later, but we thought we'd have you first thing this morning. How are you?
Nothing like a bit of variety to spice up life. Exactly. Good morning.
Good morning. You've legged it in because the gates have just opened. You had to run past. There's several people sprinting for places on the hill today.
I love that moment. It's one of the best moments in the morning. Is it 10:30 on the dot?
Yes.
They hold them back with a rope. It's a very polite group of spectators, very British. So and then they release the rope and they go.
That's true. So we've got the big 3 in today's quarterfinals, and then one other who will make it as the 4. I'm thinking the 3 will go through, but we'll talk about it in a bit. There was a really interesting stat that came through about the last 3 when they met their opponents. They all lost.
This was courtesy of my good friend Andy, who told me this morning. So Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic, the last time they beat today's opponents, they did all lose. Now, broad strokes, can we see that happening again?
Your friend was desperately scrabbling around for just a shred of hope for these other players. I can't see it. You look through them all, and it is very hard to make a case for the opponents for the big 3. David Goffin, although a brilliant mover, he's one of those players that a lot of fans can relate to because he doesn't have the physical attributes of a lot of the top players these days. He's quite slight, but what he doesn't have in sort of the physical attributes in terms of power, he does have speed around the baseline, and he will trouble Djokovic. But I just think over the course of a 5-set match, Goffin just is not going to have enough. And you mentioned that victory over him in the last time they played. That was over 3 sets. And Djokovic over 5 is a completely different kettle of fish. So I think Djokovic will win that one fairly comfortably. Then we get to Roger Federer against Kei Nishikori. Nishikori's done really well this year, but he has had a pretty comfortable draw. The draw's kind of opened up for him. And in terms of the 4 slams, his best performances have not come here on grass. He was one of those players where if you were going to play a seeded player in the first round, you'd want to play him or a few others. He's had some weak results here in the past. I don't think that's going to help him against Roger Federer at all. Federer's looked great. I mean, the last match against Berrettini, he
was a schooling.
Floating on cloud 9. I think the first set was 17 minutes or something. So, Federer's up here, and Nishikori, I think his level on grass is below that. He might get a set, but I can't see more than that. Then we get to court 1, the 2 matches on court 1. Pella against Roberto Bautista
Which
Agut.
we should mention is your...
Been looking forward to this.
This
is my pick of the day, which is a little bit left field, I think. Obviously people are going to be choosing the big 3, Djokovic, Federer and Nadal, but I love this match, and the reason I love this match is this is such an opportunity for both players. If you'd gone round the grounds and said both of their names, are they going to make the second week of Wimbledon, most people probably would have said no. They'd never been to a Grand Slam semi-final before. I think they've only been to 1 Grand Slam quarter-final between them. And just to give you a sense of what's on the line for them here, the prize money for the loser, £294,000, which is a lot of money.
Not bad.
But the winner, £588,000. So they can double their money, which for those kind of, Federer, what's 250 grand between friends for the likes of Federer and Nadal, but for these players this is life-changing amount of money, and points as well, which is also crucial in terms of the rankings. 360 points versus 720 points. You can double your money and double your points for whoever wins this big match,
a big dent
which is gonna pay off the mortgage, keep them on tour for a long time, see them shooting up the rankings. They're going to go shooting up the rankings anyway, but give them a big boost, because the points stay for a whole year. So that's going to help them get good seeding. This is a career-changing match for Pella or Bautista Agut. I'm picking Bautista Agut simply because he's got the better of the head-to-head. They've played twice before. The Spaniards won both of them, and he's been on court less. He's had a pretty easy run through. He won the last match in straight sets.
I was going to ask about that because he's the only man left who's yet to drop a set, which I thought was extraordinary, really. Do you think that time on court stat is going to be
massive?
Probably
difference.
The biggest difference with all 4 of these matches?
Massive difference. I think the other thing for Pella is not just the time on court, but also the mental strength that it took to come back from 2 sets down. All of that effort, both physically and mentally, wears a player down. I don't care if you've had a day off, it will affect you. And Bautista Agut has kind of flown through. He's a nice guy. He's one of those people he's a bit of a metronome. You don't get too much out of him. He's fairly quiet, goes about his business, and that's going to help him here. He's cruised through the tournament. He's been completely under the radar, and I think he's going to keep going. And it's going to be, to see either of them in a Grand Slam semi-final, it's career-defining stuff.
I'm really happy to see David Goffin in a semi-final because he's had a horrendous time with injury, obviously from the French Open last time, and he's put out a Twitter. Didn't he put something out about celebrating his win in the quarterfinals on social media?
Oh yeah, he did. Lovely David.
Yeah,
Wimbledon,
great picture with arms up in the air.
He's just a lovely guy as well. He played Jeremy Chardy, the Frenchman, who actually lives here in London, in the first round, and then they put a photo up. They were playing against each other for a spot in the next round at Wimbledon. And then they had a barbecue afterwards. They're just a nice guy. Goffin's a lovely guy. We had him in we're doing these people press conferences where spectators get to ask questions of the players. He was so humble, so gracious. He came out with some funny lines as well. He's one of those people where every time he wins and every time he plays well, you feel good as well. I don't think he's going to beat Federer today. Sorry, David, but he's one of the sport's nice guys.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, can you see any of them even getting close?
The one I think who might trouble is Sam Querrey.
Okay.
Because Sam Querrey, although he hasn't had a great year, came in here unseeded. He beat Thiem, which Team's not the best on grass, but still, you're beating a guy who's just made the final of a Grand Slam, top 5 player in the world. Querrey is a good grass court player. We've seen that here in the past. He's made some good runs. He's got that huge forehand, huge serve, and anyone with those kind of weapons will struggle, pose some struggles for the top players. And Rafa Nadal's going to have to be at his best. I can see, if you want me to pick a winner, I would pick Nadal, but that's a match that could go to 5 sets. There are things in his game that Nadal is not going to be able to cope with.
Let's talk about Kei Nishikori and Roger Federer. No doubt the Japanese contingent will be in the house today watching Kei Nishikori.
Heavy media presence.
They love a flag as well. I love that. The Japanese
flags.
fans love a flag. You can always tell when Nishikori or one of the Japanese players is playing. A lot of players playing doubles. You don't even need to be on the court. You can just see the flags fluttering. They love a flag, which I love. I
can see Kei Nishikori taking a set off Roger Federer today.
Yeah, he actually said, Federer, we were listening to his press conference, was it yesterday or the day before, after his last match, and he was saying that there are a lot of people in tennis who, if they could choose a forehand, they would choose Nishikori's forehand. He has that sort of easy power. It doesn't look like he's really hitting the ball that hard, but then when you're receiving it, it's fearsome. It's a powerful shot. I just think it's the whole package that Federer is able to deal with, and he'll just keep it off the forehand. But particularly the forehand side, Nishikori can trouble Federer.
Well, he faces Roger Federer today. That is going to be on centre court, last up. And before that match, he stopped by our photo booth.
Hi, this is Kei Nishikori, and this is my photo booth. That's Michael Chan. We've been working together for 5-6 years now. He gave me so many things. He's one of the biggest people in my team. I think we are very similar play style of tennis. He's I think about same, maybe he's a little bit smaller, but same height. And yeah, he gave me a great motivation every time. That's Mr. Kunieda. I respect a lot. He's the greatest wheelchair tennis player from Japan. He won many titles and he has great mental toughness, very strong, and I learned many things from him. That's Shuzo Matsuoka. Yes, he was the #1 tennis player in Japan. I went to his tennis camp and I learned many things from him. I think he gave me a lot of motivation for me, and yeah, he's still a great guy. That's Dante Bottini. He has great passion for tennis and makes me, work hard. Yeah, even though we are 9-10 years together, I still learn many things from him, and he's a great partner with me, my tennis career. That's Naomi Osaka. Yeah, I have to say I respect her a lot because she won 2 Grand Slam already, and suddenly she's #1, and right now she's fighting for #1 spot again. Yeah, she just had an incredible season, I think last year and even this year too. I'm sure she's gonna do well, and she has great mental, great tennis. It's fun to watch her, so I'm very cheering for her.
Now, Fiona on Facebook has just got in touch to say how much she's loving the photo booths, and I totally agree with
that.
Yeah,
I love them, they're great.
Absolutely, and that was Kei Nishikori giving his view on his social media post on Instagram.
Yeah, well, one of the biggest stories, I suppose, yesterday, Adam, was the mixed doubles. Andy Murray and Serena Williams dominating again on centre. They're back in action today.
We saw the bun back as well from Serena. A lot of talk on social media about that bun.
I do that sometimes when I want to get serious about
bun.
Things. Yeah.
And it worked.
The third set bun, and then it's stuck for the mixed doubles, and we'll have to wait and see whether we see the bun in the next round.
Well, I'd imagine they will. So they're up against the top seeds in the competition as well. Is this a real big step up, difficulty?
Well, I think the thing with the mixed doubles, but doubles in general, mixed doubles as well, is playing against pairs who play with each other at every tournament or not. Suarez and Melishar, who are the top seeds, they play every Grand Slam together, so they're getting an opportunity to, get to know each other's games and all that kind of thing. Whereas, Murray and Williams are effectively they're good, but they're a scratch pairing. They've not played doubles
Could that be the
before.
thing that trips them up?
And that's the thing, as Jonny was saying, knowing your partner and all that kind of thing makes such a difference in doubles. And I think in the end that's what cost Murray in the men's doubles. They were playing doubles specialists in Skugor and Mektic, who played with each other every single week, know each other's games, and Herbert and Murray perhaps didn't, and that cost them in the end. A great moment from that match last night, I don't know if you saw it, Fabrice Martin, the big French guy who they were playing, he's got a big serve, 138 mile an hour, cranked it down, Serena stood firm, bosh, winner, and just showed exactly how good she is. I think you see when she plays mixed doubles that she can hang with the men. She wouldn't beat them in singles, but she's not overawed by the power.
No,
she's not overawed by
that,
often we'll see in mixed doubles, if the man really smacks it against the female player, they can't cope, but Serena can. Serena really can, and that was amazing.
And
138 mile an hour.
I was going to say very quickly, we've seen her do that when she was playing in the Hopman Cup, when she was returning the serve of Roger Federer, which everyone just went wild at that point because it was a great shot and it was a fantastic winner. We should also mention, by the way, which we will talk about a bit more tomorrow, that the wheelchair tournament starts tomorrow, which I'm really, really excited about.
It's extraordinary to watch. I have no idea how they manage it, genuinely.
Yes, I mean, we've spoken to Yui Kamiji, who's one of the star players just earlier on today. I saw a bit of that interview. They're great characters as well, and as you said, it's just amazing to watch. You kind of find yourself think, how do they manage that? It is incredible feats of physical strength that it takes to do what they do, and great to see them have an opportunity to play on the grass as well, because we see the juniors as well. It's one of those things where people with a ground pass, they might run to watch the big screen on the side of court 1 by Henman Hill, but actually you've got a couple hours until these matches start at 1 o'clock UK time. Why not go for a little tour around the outside courts and watch the juniors or the wheelchair matches or the invitational doubles? Great tennis all around the grounds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Adam, thank you so much.
Thanks, Adam.
Interesting as ever.
Enjoy your day.
Let you head off your Wimbledon channel duties. Now, one of the places that we haven't really been down to yet is in the Southern Village, where the stringing station is. All of the top players pretty much have been having a go at stringing against the clock. The quickest, well, it was Dominic Thiem, 1 minute 14, and yesterday I had a go. Possibly the most important part of tennis, and we barely mentioned it, is the racket and particularly the strings. Now, I know absolutely nothing about any of it, but one man on the grounds who knows more than possibly anyone is this man himself, Lucien, and you are about to give me a masterclass in stringing. Now, before we get to it, why is it so important?
All the information you receive from the opponent ball is from the strings. You are playing tennis player yourself, okay? It's complicated to put the ball 3 times or 10 times on the same place.
I make it look more complicated than it probably is. But
Me too, me too. The reason is the efficiency of the strings. The time contact ball strings is 4,000 of a second. That's the only time you have to play tennis.
Wow.
So if you make a mistake, that can be a big mistake. If you want to have the pleasure to play tennis with the nice toy or tool you bought, you have to put the right engine inside. String is the engine.
So, give me a crash course then. What am I going to do?
Okay,
here?
I'll show you now. Before, one string I've already made.
Okay.
So this is the main engine. That's the out of the iceberg. And under you have a tension gauger, you have a electronics plate, you have everything. So when you press the red button will start the tension, okay? So you do this, you take the string in 2 fingers, you put it in the middle here, and where you press the red button, where it's on and off. So do it slowly. No, here.
No, okay, take this.
Then go slow inside.
Yeah.
Press the red button.
Oh wow, so that's taking up to the tension that you require. Wow, okay.
Okay, make it down. Down.
Down.
Okay.
Over that.
You're the chief, insist.
Okay. And then up there.
Lock.
Clamp. Right.
You want to do it now?
Yeah, let's give it a go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Up and down, slowly. Make it concentrate. Up and down. Yes.
That's the one. That's the one.
Perfect.
Oh, my hands
Keep going.
Sweaty.
Move a little. Voila.
Yeah, there we go.
Make it simple. Make it comfortable for you. Like I told you, you are the chief. Okay.
Okay, and feed that through there.
Huh?
There we go. So that's one done. So down there.
Okay, go. This you can gain time.
As long as you do it right, which is what I'm not doing. Here we go. Okay, right. So.
Okay.
And then all the way back. Where's the thing?
And,
there it is.
And
in there.
You're not bad. Too much.
Oh, it's okay. Okay. Right. So. Down. Up. Down.
Up. Parfait. Yes.
Down.
Up.
Down.
Up. Yeah. Down. Up.
Down. What's the finishing point? Do I have to get it all the way through again?
When you are out.
Stop the clock.
112.
Fantastic.
Member of the family.
Oh, I'm honoured, Lucien.
No,
you honour me. You honour me. Thank you so much.
Avec plaisir.
That was my heart. That's absolutely. That's absolutely perfect. Well, Lucien's stringing pretty quickly behind me, but I'm pretty happy with that. Dominic Thiem, watch your back.
A beaming Danny Jameson next to me. Yeah.
1 minute 12.
We're not worthy to stand next to you, but it was amazing to see you do that. I mean, to see how much technology goes into it as well.
Yeah, and look, Marvellous St. McCarville has joined us.
Hello. No, don't throw it to me. We got to stay on you. Thanks for welcoming me in, but
I thought I had
how
to.
do you feel after your victory?
I was absolutely delighted. I sort of knew the time to beat. I'd gone off pretty slowly, but we had our producer was timing, and as I was going towards the end, I saw a flinch and I thought I must be close. So I was just going as fast as I could. It's a lot more difficult than it looks. Santosh, by the way, saying it looks so easy. It's not. Promise you, it's really difficult. It's really hard. But I was amazed at the amount of technology that goes into the actual strings themselves. I had no idea. Absolutely hadn't got a clue. It's incredible the amount of detail that goes into it.
It's really specific, the equipment stuff in tennis, and I think a lot of players either really get into it, they're nerdy about it, or they just leave it at arm's length, take their rackets to the stringers and say, you know, today's humid, today's hot, today's cold, we're at this elevation. There's obviously the different strings and the different technology that goes into what you use, how you use it, and what stringing tension you put your racket at. But I have no idea. When I was a tennis player, I just took. I would have been much worse than you. So kudos, congratulations.
Thanks. Got up on the board today.
You could be a Wimbledon champion this year.
I might have left it a little bit late, I reckon. But if they accept stringing, I'll accept my trophy later on.
Why
no
not?
one's beating that mark.
No one's beating. But hey, speaking of competition, so to speak, the poll result is out.
So you've been voting all morning about which quarterfinal you are most looking forward to today. Unsurprisingly, with 55% of the vote, the winner, Kei Nishikori against Roger Federer. That's going to be an absolute belter, as Adam was telling us earlier.
Yes.
Should we get to some social media?
Yes, we shall.
And
the England Lionesses paid a visit to the All England Club yesterday, causing quite a stir. There was lots of happy faces around as they came to watch. And Tony Duggan, former Barcelona player now, tweeted a picture with her with a certain Murray.
Judy.
That's so cool. It's so awesome to have the Lionesses here, obviously having made that run to the semifinals, to getting deep at the Women's World Cup, and then coming here to Wimbledon. I think they were on BBC yesterday with Claire Balding, and just had the opportunity, I think, to have a little glow, because they should. I know that they were disappointed they didn't get through into the final, didn't end up where they wanted to be, but they should be so proud of themselves. Really cool to have them at Wimbledon.
Thank you so much for not mentioning who they lost to.
No, I just I made the mistake of saying something to my very British English colleagues at Wimbledon Channel the day after the game. I would have loved to see England win that game, because the Americans have won so much.
You've won too many.
They have a chance. The only reason I'm happy for the Americans, it's great that they've won, it's awesome, and that equal pay fight continues in the US for the US Women's National Team.
Great to see the Lionesses down here. Now, the Join the Story Facebook group has been superb. There's plenty of posts going on. Joy Mason gave us a comment. This was great, this was. So my husband entered the ballot, was very lucky to get tickets. We went last Wednesday, had tickets for centre, 2 rows behind the royal box, seen some celebs, but the best moment was when my husband bumped into Boris Becker in the Gentleman's.
There are so many things I could say about that, but I won't.
I mean, that is, you never know who you're going to see at the tennis, which is fantastic. We had Rebel Wilson watching Mukova on court 2 the other day, and there's Boris Becker in the loo.
Yeah.
What I want to know, Joy, is did your husband actually say hello to Boris in the loo?
And at what stage? Does it be before or after, surely not during?
Yeah, and then do you wash your hands for like 10, 15, 20 seconds and then you happen to be washing your hands next to Boris and say, "Hey Boris, how are you?"
We need more details, Joy. We need more details.
I think so. It's something I'm sure
Censored
both will
details.
never forget.
Censored.
Censored. Sergio Garcia.
Yeah.
Paid a visit
Not
to
only
Wimbledon yesterday.
did we have the Lionesses down, but half of the Ryder Cup European team was down here. Who else have we got there? We've got Tommy Fleetwood, I think, was there as well as Sergio Garcia.
Justin Rose is in that pose.
Yeah. And actually, did you guys see Jack Nicklaus was in the royal box sitting next to Philip Brook? Jack Nicklaus himself, a lot of the tennis players will go and use his grass court in Florida. The Bryan brothers have practiced there a lot. Jack Nicklaus loves his tennis, and I can't remember the last time he's been at Wimbledon, so it was really, really cool to see. The golfers love Wimbledon. A few years ago, we had Adam Scott here. I got to interview Adam Scott, which was really cool. So, yeah, it's a nice connection, obviously, with the Open coming up. Is it next weekend? It's soon.
It's soon, it's really, really soon. Serena Williams posted on Instagram yesterday, which I think is probably, this wins the cute factor for me. Gorgeous, gorgeous Olympia on her hip as Serena's cooling down on the exercise bike.
And this is between matches. She'd won a singles and then warmed up for the mixed doubles.
It's all of our hearts have melted out of our chests, and we're just oozing right here on set. I mean, listen, it's so cool, obviously, that Serena's been able to come back after giving birth to little Alexis Olympia. And it's take your daughter to work day.
And Olympia's face as well. She's not phased about it.
No,
she's just very
like,
calm.
Whatever, Mom. How powerful, though. I mean, we all have these great memories, or most of us have good memories of our parents as children and what they mean to us and the things they instill in us. Yeah. And there's Serena as a legend in tennis, and Olympia's along for the ride. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Very, very empowering. One of the most popular people, probably the couples I suppose around these parts, the Shea siblings. I've seen so many people snapping selfies with them, and here's another one.
I just Sue Wei, and this is her brother, actually. They're playing mixed doubles. They lost in the mixed doubles, but they were competing here together, which is pretty special because he was a boys junior doubles champion here 11 years ago, and for the two of them, they haven't played much mixed doubles together, so to see that, first off, she had a great run. She is forever entertaining, and yeah, if I saw them on the grounds, I'd want a selfie too.
Loads of people have done.
If you guys saw one person, so we've got Boris in the loo, we've got Sue Wei Shea and her brother on the grounds. Who would you guys want a selfie with on the grounds?
Serena for me. Yeah, Serena. Speaking of which, her mum also taking part in some selfies yesterday. Lovely Oracene.
Yeah, Andre managed to track her down. Got a selfie with her as well.
I think that's the first time I've seen Oracene smile this tournament.
Brilliant stuff.
Well done. Good job, Andre.
Nick, thanks for coming down this morning. We will see you tomorrow, also covering the social side of things. And that is it from us on Wimbledon Coffee Morning. It's been a busy day yesterday. Oh, yeah. It's going to be a busy day today.
As Nick steals Pete Sampras, Andre Agassi, nicking Andre Agassi. You can catch up with all of the action on YouTube, on Wimbledon.com, and on the app as well. It all kicks off at 11 o'clock. Nick, we'll let you get off to go and roam the grounds whenever you finish your mouthful of Andre.
Okay. And we will see you guys tomorrow.